Hey everyone, it's Vision, and I remember the good old days of getting out from school and hopping on some Xbox 360, joining trickshot lobbies in NW2, spending hours on Halo Reach Forge, playing Black Ops 1 and 2 with my friends, to then finally getting an Xbox One to play hours of Destiny, Gears of War, specifically remastered, and the beauty of Red Dead Redemption 2. But during all of that, I was a PC player. From playing Halo 1 when I was really young to StarCraft 2, Half-Life 2, and Garry's Mod, but in the late life of the Xbox One, there started to become a blur between Xbox and PC gaming. First, you started seeing games come out as Microsoft exclusive instead of Xbox exclusive. That's pretty cool. Now I get to play some Xbox friends on PC and vice versa, if there's crossplay. And then Xbox Game Pass came out, and that was pretty cool too. A cheap way to play all those games I didn't want to pay for, but I still wanted to play. But as they came out with these features, there slowly became a blur between Xbox and PC gaming. It actually became easier for me to decide which course to go down. And of course, Xbox is easily accessible and more affordable for people, with the Xbox Series X and the cheaper S, but I enjoyed playing on PC. The game options and playing on keyboard and mouse, I felt I had better control over game and options, so I stuck with PC. And with each release of Xbox, games like Sea of Thieves, Gears 5, Halo 5, and Forza all also came out on the, albeit horrible, Windows Store Xbox app. I didn't even think about getting an Xbox. I do still own one. It's somewhere lost in my closet, but I decided to spend 4 times the amount from an Xbox to my PC. But does it work for you? Let's get into that while I double check my wallet. The one thing I am envious of console gaming is the performance. When you start up your Xbox, you're gaming almost immediately and almost all the time getting consistent frames. For my PC, even with an i9 3090 Ti and an NVMe drive, I still have to wait for Windows to load, start Steam, and then the inevitable Steam update, and then I can start gaming. Where, with the near infamous performance settings on any PC game, I try my best to get consistent frames. Oh, and when you were loading your game, the next GPU already came out in 40% better performance. On console, you get consistent, you really don't have to worry about that, especially when, Windows drivers updates completely break some of your games, or Windows breaks it, or you just need updates for your BIOS. But let's get into the actual question. Should you buy an Xbox? Before we get into opinions, let's start with some facts. And thanks to Digital Trends for allowing me to steal this list. These are the hardware details, as we're going to call the Xbox Series X or S a lot. We're just going to say X or S to save some time. I was going to read all this technical information, but if you want to know, feel free to pause. And if you're curious on the details, the TLDR is the Series X is more powerful than the S from a hardware perspective, with additional GPU processing, plus additional higher clocks, and more RAM. But don't worry, that information will be useful for what we're going to go over next, and it's PC. This can range from the eBay Dell Optiplex with adding a new power supply in 3090 to a $5,000 gaming computer so you can play Minecraft with shaders and watch Netflix. Or if you're like me, you can play some old school RuneScape on one screen and then work on a script on the other. Money well spent. So let's compare it to the cheapest but future building PC that you can buy. Now, this number can definitely change on so many factors and the hardware because there's so many options, comparing to a console where you just kind of buy the console and that's it. This, I feel like, is the most effective build that you can do for around $500. And this is what I found to the comparable price of the X. I would do the S, however, a $300 PC really isn't a good one, at least not for gaming. I'd recommend still using a console and plug in a mouse and keyboard if you really want that, but we'll get back into that. For a PC build, using PC Part Picker, we got just above $500. This build features an AMD Ryzen 5 2400G at 3.6 GHz. Without a GPU, you can score on most modern games, low quality and at 30 FPS. Now you may notice there are some parts like the power supply that are almost just as expensive as the CPU. But that's for when you inevitably purchase a GPU in the future, preferably paired with an AMD Radeon RX 7600X for about $269 or the 7800 XT for about $500. You have options that are friendly to your wallet or can destroy your wallet. Now, I did go over $500, but I think this is the best build that you can do where you can freely add parts in the future and you don't have to replace major components. So, for example, if you want to upgrade to a GPU, if you start with a lower end power supply, you might have to upgrade that in order to keep up with it. With this power supply, I think you should be good for the future. And now for the Xbox X, you just go to the store and you buy it. That's it. It already comes with a keyboard, and for the computer, we didn't even talk about mouse, keyboard, headset, which will probably run you another $100 to $300 depending on what you go with. One interesting fact about consoles is no matter Xbox or PlayStation, they're all sold at a loss, meaning every console they sell, they're losing money. The only way they earn money are from the games and digital goods, where they get a percentage cut from their stores. So going to a PC and getting Game Pass for Windows or buying from Steam can actually help them earn more money in the long run. But I know you really don't care about earning them more money, and because that's a lot of information, I just want to say it boils all down to this. Is a PC more worth it than an Xbox? Yes. You gain access to multiple libraries, and you can still plug in an Xbox controller, which most libraries have direct to semi-direct compatibility. You can access Steam, Origin, Ubisoft Connect, GOG, and Epic Games. No matter how much you don't like the Origin launcher like me, each have so many available games, sales at random times, and with Microsoft exclusive games. You can play all the new Xbox games on PC using the Xbox app, and even purchase some Xbox games on Steam, which I recommend because I like to keep track of my hours. Like Gears 5, Forza, and Sea of Thieves, Xbox's library wasn't already strong to begin with, especially when you compare to Sony's exclusives over the past few years. The one thing Sony cannot keep up with is Microsoft's infrastructure. As some people may not be aware, Microsoft doesn't only make Windows and Xbox, they run and host Azure, a cloud platform where customers pay to run their servers, and for practically everything. You can make a virtual machine for servers, for people and users to work remotely, hosting databases, running AI processing, and using them just to run your apps. And most importantly, your Minecraft servers. Sony is a great company, but they don't have these available resources and infrastructure to compete with on the same market. Well, with Xbox Cloud, you now have access to Xbox Library on your phone, TV, a $300 PC using the Xbox Cloud Gaming. There is no longer a wall between where or how you can play your games. You just need a good internet connection, and you can play on your couch, desk, or while driving your Tesla. Unless you like the simplicity of an Xbox in 2024, you're going to probably purchase a PC anyway. And you may as well spend a bit more so it can also be a gaming PC. Newer, lower-end hardware are miles ahead of what they used to be. My first PC was an Intel i7 3770K, and now a Core i3 13100F is 74% better than that. And I built my first PC just to play StarCraft 2. And if you own a PS5, you don't count. You're going to buy a Mac anyway. But you could still game on Mac if you wanted to, and even on Windows. Intel and AMD chips already, like we mentioned before, you can run modern games on lower graphics and still achieve 30 FPS, which is probably baseline what you're going to be getting on your Xbox, and 50%. They're making a lot of adjustments to make sure that it runs a bit smoother and reaching their 4K 120 FPS marker. But don't listen to me. This is just my opinion. Buy what you like. I just wanted to share my thoughts on something that I have been thinking about for a while. I appreciate for everyone watching. Thanks for stopping by. Let me know what you guys think down below, and have a good one. Yes, I do own a PS5 just for exclusives, which are now also coming to PC. What a weird world, but very welcoming.